Welcome, I'm Seema from Edufinite. This episode is about English grammar quiz on active and passive voice part 1. In this video, there are 20 questions based on active voice and passive voice. At the end of each set of 5 questions, the answers are provided with the explanation for your convenience. A quick revision on the topic will help you to understand your preparedness for the competitive exams as well as improve your English language. If you have any query, you can ask me in the comment section. Let us delve into the topic. Well, active voice and passive voice. You'll have to change the following sentences from active voice to passive voice. There'll be a set of 5 questions in each phase. And after the questions, I'll be telling you the answers. You can check them with mine. So let's start. We are taking all necessary precautions. So this you'll have to change into passive voice. Next, I will finish the project before the month end. So all these sentences you'll have to change into passive. The next sentence is call Rohan. Raj had just bought a new album by Bon Jovi. Next, the parrots have learned many tricks. Now, you can pause the video, write down your answers, change all these active voices into passive voices, and then come and check with mine. So now I come up with the answers. For passive voice, what we have to do, we have to take the object of the active voice and make it the subject of the passive voice. So all necessary precautions, since this is what? This is in the present continuous tense. So we'll have to include being and the verb. Passive voice, we know it's V3 form of the verb and by. The preposition by is there and the subject of the active voice becomes the object. So all necessary precautions are being taken by us. The next, the project will be finished before the month end. So again, will is there, so be has to be inserted. The project comes. What will be finished? The project. So the project is the object. Now the object comes right in front. So the project will be finished when? Before the month end. Next. Let Rohan be called. So call Rohan. So when you change this into passive voice, it's let Rohan be called. Next. Here a new album by Bon Jovi comes right before had just been bought by Raj. Next, many tricks comes right in front, have been. Since there is have, we have to include been, have been learned by the parrot. Since this is in the perfect tense, so we'll have to include the been, the word been in the passive voice. Well, the next set of 5 questions. My grandmother has planted some flowering plants in the garden. We offered them a drink. Sheena might win the lucky draw. I threw some pebbles into the pond. My father will give you few tips on the matter. So these are 5 sentences. You'll have to change them into passive. If required, pause the video and then check my answers. So now I come up with the answers. So some flowering plants comes right in front. Some flowering plants, as this is has planted, it's in the perfect tense. So we have to include been. So have been planted in the garden by my grandmother. So my grandmother goes right at the end. A drink was offered to them by us. So this is the passive voice. Next, the lucky draw, right? The object becomes the subject in passive voice. So the lucky draw might be with modal verbs and will shall. It's be. Be has to be there. Be. And then win becomes one, the third form of the verb. That's a past participle form. Then by the preposition and then the subject comes right at the end. The subject of the active voice comes right at the end to become the object in passive voice. So the lucky draw might be won by Sheena. Next. Some pebbles comes right in front because that's the object. So some pebbles being plural. So were. Some pebbles were thrown because threw is in past tense. So were thrown into the pond by me. So, few tips. What will my father give? Few tips. So, few tips in the matter will be given to you by my father. So, the next set of 5 questions. Now, here you'll have to change the passive voice into active voice. So, there you had changed active to passive. Now, it's passive to active. So the first passive voice is, the boy was not pushed by Mona. This journey will never be forgotten by us. A cake was baked by my mother yesterday. Was his duty done by him? Are the kites being flown by the students? Now you can pause the video, write down your answers, and then check with mine. I come up with the answers now. Now you have to change the passive into active. So the object of the passive will come right in front to become the subject of the active. So Mona comes right in front. Mona did not push the boy. The next. So us, that's the objective form of the pronoun. Now we have to use, since we'll be using this as the subject, so we'll have to use the subjective form, which is we. We will never forget this journey. So that this journey goes right at the end. So again, my mother will come right in front and a cake will go right at the end. So we'll have to flip it, the subject and the object. So let's see how it is. So the active voice for this sentence will be, my mother baked a cake yesterday. Well, the next one, did he do his duty? That's the active voice. Well, the next, are the students flying kites? So are the kites being flown by the students? The passive voice, when we turn this into active voice, it becomes, are the students flying kites? Because the students comes right in front to become the subject, and the kites, which was the subject in passive voice, becomes the object in active voice. Well, now the next or the last set of 5 questions. Was cricket being played by them? So this is passive. You'll have to change it into active. By whom is the doorbell being rung? Change it into active. So all these you'll have to change into active. When shall we be visited by them? Why are plants not being watered by Raju? Has your homework been done by you? Now, you can pause the video, write down your answers, and then check with mine. So the answers are, so now the active voice for was cricket being played by them will be, were they playing cricket? Next, by whom is the doorbell being rung will be the active voice. Who is ringing the doorbell? Next, when shall we be visited by them will be, active voice will be, when will they visit us? Next, why are plants not being watered by Raju? The active voice will be, why is Raju not watering the plants? Now, has your homework been done by you? The active voice will be, have you done your homework? So that's all for today. Thank you for being there with me. If you've liked the topic, do give a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Do subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell icon for future updates. Bye. Take care. See you in the next one.